we're here underneath the passenger side front. This plastic piece broke off, rubbed against the wheel, and this whole piece is missing. Got myself a replacement right there from TRQ. But today we'll be replacing this windshield washer fluid tank. This is the original to the car. It is cracked and is leaking water when you fill it up. So some people suggested going to the junkyard to get one, but these things are over 25 years old and chances are it's going to just crack again. So got another TRQ part here, windshield washer fluid. I believe it comes with the motors as well, so that's nice. Comes with all the tubes, the whole assembly with the fill head, so that's good. So we're going to be taking off this fender liner cover first. There is a mount right here, and there is a mount all the way back there, as you can see. So this thing sits like this. So there is a mounting point right here, which is all the way in there, and I'm hoping that you won't need to remove the bumper. So I'm going to see if I can get a swivel and an extension to get that bolt out. Otherwise, removing the bumper is just another pain in the ass to get this whole thing removed. So first things first, got the funnel with the gallon jug, cup. Fortunately, this thing is not low enough to put it underneath, you know, windshield washer fluid these days is more expensive than gas, which is ridiculous. Nothing should be more than gas except for whiskey and beer. So windshield washer fluid is just detergent and water. It should not be more than a gallon of gas. But anyways, I'm gonna be salvaging this liquid because I'm a cheap bastard, and once I get this whole thing emptied out, I'm gonna unbolt the mounts and get this whole thing out. So let's unplug it here. These are the motors. These are the rubber tubes that push the water up into the nozzles. So I'm gonna be unplugging it, and this whole thing is probably gonna just spill out. So I got this cup here to catch it, and then I'm gonna just be pouring it in here. So this thing's gonna be messy. I'll get back once I am done. All right, so scratch that. Removing this tubing. Only got one drop out, so that thing doesn't work. But what I'm going to do is go up underneath the hood. As you can see here, that is the line that feeds into the nozzle. So I just unplugged it, got it going directly into the gallon jug. So I'm just be turning on the car and powering up the pumps to drain out all the liquid back into this bottle. Seems easier and more clean. So let's try that. All right, so I got the car on. Let's fill this thing up. You see the bottle getting filled up, steady rising. It's actually pumping really good. That's too bad because the pumps, the OEM pumps, still work great. It's just that the tank itself is busted. I'm gonna see if I can just swap over the pumps onto the new tank, see if that works, and just keep the TRQ ones as a spare in case the OEM ones go out. I'm gonna try that next after I'm done with this. So after I'm done with this, I'm gonna take out the assembly and see if I can swap those parts out. All right, so next steps is this mounting bolt for the filler neck and get this tubing and the whole assembly out next. All right, I totally forgot that there is another bolt right there. So that's the last bolt, I hope, and we'll get this whole thing out. All right, after you're done, make sure you plug back all your hoses. You don't want a big spill after you're done with everything. So anyways, let's get back down here. So this 10mm bolt is right behind here. I tried putting a socket on there. There's way too tight, but so I'm going to use this box wrench to get this thing open. All right. Man, this thing is tight in here. All right, on second thought, I decided to take off the bumper. It wasn't too hard. 1, 2, 3 clips over there. 1 clip over here to take off this metal piece trim that sits underneath the headlight. And as you can see there, that massive crack in the reservoir. So this will allow us easier access to get this whole thing out. To get this bolt out, this mounting bolt, because that was a pain in the ass. So I decided to just take off the bumper. It took extra 5 minutes, but it's totally worth it. So now I can get this bolt off and see if I can get that other bolt on the other side. All right, I'm not sure if you can see that bolt. As you can see in the center, let's see if I can get that in there. It's right there. I'm gonna have that circled for you. So might need to take a swivel and some finagling to get a socket on there to get that last bolt off. So let's get that one out and get this whole thing out. All right, if you're able to pull out the bumper far enough, you should be able to get a 10mm long reach or extended socket and get this thing pulled out. All right, just got this whole thing out. This rubber hose, you're gonna have to finagle your way out of that. It goes through the bottom here, up to the top, to that hole, up to the filler neck. And for these Toyota style clips, all right, let me show you how I got these off. So you just use the butt end of your screwdriver, press against this middle square piece here, and this connector should come right off. And these are the hoses. Unfortunately, one of them got the plastic nipple stuck inside. I'm gonna have to get that out. And yeah, so far no cracks on those. Those seem decent, but yeah, as you can see, the damage here, I don't know what happened. Looks like it got rubbed against something because of the way that it is. I'm not sure what it rubbed against, but anyways, it was pouring out every time I would fill it up. So, which is also bad because if dirt and debris get in here, it's gonna mess up your pumps, which surprisingly still work. I'm gonna be taking these out and see if I can put it onto the new unit, because these still work perfectly fine. So if you're planning to reuse the Denso pumps, they work, but unfortunately I had a little accident here. Thing just broke off, so I guess had no choice but to use these aftermarket pumps. No biggie. I just, you know, wanted to have a spare in case, and you know, since these things weren't broken, didn't want to change it. So I guess I'll be using both, because this one might actually that end looks a little out of shape. So I guess I'm just gonna stick with the new ones. So in comparison, I just made an interesting observation. This tank looks smaller than this one. See, there's a nice fat reservoir in the bottom. This one does not have it, unfortunately. Let's see here. Yeah, unfortunate. This one holds less. They said it was going to be an OEM fit or OEM comparable, but I guess it is not. So I mean, Toyota still sells these brand new, but they are crazy expensive. So I guess I'm gonna have to stick with this one here. It's about 20% of the price of the OEM, and I guess I'll just have to fill it up more often. All right, after wiggling this thing back in, everything's all snugged up. Bolts, all, well, mostly. I haven't put on the bumper yet, but bolts put on, and the second one up there, and the bottom one down there. So I'm gonna be filling up the liquid and making sure nothing's leaking, since I am still using the old pipes. All right. Is anything leaking? So far, so good. Nothing's leaking. Let's continue. looks good. Oops, I forgot to put this tube back in, this dipstick. Let's put this back. Let me see, where was it? Oh, right here. Alright. They did not include one with the TRQ, so be reusing that. Whoops, overfilled it. As you can see, it's coming out. So, yeah, it's coming out from that dipstick. So let's drain some, let's use it, see if the pumps work, and get some of that fluid out. Make sure everything else is working. All right, where's my key? All right. All right, everything seems to be working. Nice strong stream. Looking good. All right, so next thing to do is to replace that fender liner, but that's gonna be something else. But anyways, if you have an old RAV4 first gen that needs to get their reservoir swapped, don't get a used one because it's just gonna crack again. It's 25 years old, plastic gets brittle. Unfortunately, the TRQ capacity size is definitely smaller than the OEM, but you know, you don't want to spend a couple $100 on OEM one. Just get a cheap $50 one from Amazon. So I have a link in the description for it. Thank you guys for watching.